As we go on with our lives every day, there's certain things that you think to yourself, oh, that's important, and I'm going to remember that. And, oh, that's some good advice. Usually you'll forget that because you didn't write it down, and, your brain isn't as perfect as you think it is. But there was this one thing that I was told when I was in the eighth grade. I had this English teacher who, I'm not gonna lie, I did not like the guy that much. I didn't really care. Like, it wasn't like some guy that I found inspiring or anything. Um, and the advice he was giving was it was just pertaining to some like project we were doing. But he said, when writing a paper or anything, uh, if you sound smart you are smart, you know? And, at first I was like kind of just like whatever, like if you sound smart, you are smart because I think we all know people that sound that are just trying to sound smart and they sound like someone trying to sound smart and you can call their bluff, very easily. So when I thought about the thing you told me, I always just thought of somebody who, is is just trying to sound smart, trying to impress people, and you know. But then I thought about it more, and I realized that well, if someone is smart and they just don't, present themselves as smart, everyone's gonna think that they're dumb, that they're not smart. So even though that you may be something, you know, it doesn't mean anything if you don't present yourself that way. So you know that's beyond being smart. If you think of yourself as a compassionate person, but you maybe you need to act like a compassionate person. You need to pretend to be compassionate person because who are you besides, the external and everything that's going outside? That's what creates who you are. What's going on inside doesn't really matter as much, but what creates your character and the way that, the way people view you, the way that you want to be viewed, you have to almost present yourself as what I want to be and not who I actually am. Because the only way to be the person that you want to be is to pretend to be that person. And then eventually you'll totally forget that you're pretending and then you become that person. So, so that's just that small piece of advice is just something that I always think to myself because it reminds me that people can't read your mind and people can't just guess who you are. You have to show that to them. And it takes some forethought because if you're not thinking about it, then you won't be able to present your best self and have people truly understand you. So with that small piece of advice, you know, I still keep it with me to that day for that reason. Even though, and like I said, I didn't care too much about that class besides that single piece of advice, and that may have well been the only thing I remembered.